Wendy Madekwana with Africa Chipembe, and a warm welcome to the South African of the Year Daily Show, Nindifudisani Ravere. Of course, this show is no different tonight. We're sitting down with a nominee who is doing extraordinary things in their individual line of work. And today, at just 18 years old, he's a Youth Leader of the Year nominee, Armand Duvenage. His system got nominated for the Young Science Expo, and he actually ended up going to Pittsburgh in the US. It's called, let me get this right, it's Autonomous and Configurable Energy Management System. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
Armand, congratulations on your nomination and all your achievements, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, at such a young age, you're only 18, and here you are already making international headlines. But let's go back to when you started doing science experiments at just the age of 4. What was going through your mind? I mean, they're just out there playing with sand, and here you are doing experiments?
Yeah, my father is like that. That was the coolest thing for me. The coolest thing in the world. Like, let's explode something. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the relationship that you have with your father. He's a science teacher, I understand. So is that where the passion comes from?
Yes, definitely. He had a few classes, extra classes, after school hours, and I was like hopped along and okay. And I always observed the science experiments, always these amazing explosions. That was super intriguing. Can you
remember one of the first experiments that you saw your dad doing and you thought to yourself, I want to try that out?
I can't remember what he threw together, sure. But that was such like, it was like a bit of solid thrown, like, and a little bit of liquid thrown in. And everybody ran away like almost like 30 meters, and it was this super big explosion. I was like, it was like only this small amount of dust and a little bit of fluid, you know.
But a huge explosion.
Yeah, and it was like this huge smoke clouds and everything. And
intrigued, and you're like, science, I'm in.
It's like, okay, I dedicate my life to you right now.
That's actually strange because, you know, science is such a difficult thing, especially when we look at mathematics and science and the landscape that we find ourselves currently in this country. But here you are, a young person whose eyes were opened by this, and it was something that you actually wanted to do. Let's talk about your very first experiment when you were in grade 10. Well, the first one that got recognized for the Young Science Expo. Back then, it was still called the Efficient Management Energy System before you went into America. Where did that idea come about, the thinking behind it?
Okay, so I was like, I want to do an amazing invention that will change the world. And I thought, okay, let's take a few steps back. And I sat on my couch and I was like, the TV is now on. I want to switch it off. But I'm way too lazy to walk to the TV and turn it off. Okay, like not on standby, like actually off. So so that's where the idea came in. It's okay, so let's go build something that I can put on my mobile phone and switch it off, and boom, there it's off.
It's done.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And the impact of load shedding, what did that have? Because I hear it was also one of the inspirations behind the project.
Definitely. The time I started, 2014, I think that was like the most load shedding times like, ever. And I was like, wait a minute, this can solve load shedding at the consumer's level. And the consumer is in the load shedding problem. They're in control of the load shedding problem. Like, let's help the grid, let's switch the gears off right now. And 1 million people do that, load shedding would be a thing of the past.
Yep, and it certainly is getting to that. We are going to be chatting to Armand a little bit more and also finding out exactly how the project works, because Lampona, I can science in ngondo, so I'm going to need him to take it a whole lot slower. But he's just a young student who is actually in matric this year, so we got to spend a little bit of time with this inventor in his space, and that was at school, and this is what happened.
My father's a science teacher, and I normally went with him with the classes and everything, and they did a few explosions and a few experiments that was very, very inquisitive, and I just wanted to learn more. Process of building the project, and it kind of actually just started off with okay, that would be cool to switch on my appliances in my house or whatever. And it evolved in this amazing solution to load shedding, and just a lot of money being saved due to my project. Yeah. The thing I'd love to change about South Africa is, or to benefit or to add to the beautiful country that we have, is to bring out a sense of I can achieve this, motivate the other youngsters, the other teenagers, even the adults, to say you can do this if you work hard.
That is Youth Leader of the Year nominee Armand Duvenage. If you'd like to vote for him, his code is Youth1. You can SMS that to 43043. You can also email Youth1 to sativoting@nn7.com or visit our website, nn7.com. And remember, if you vote, you stand a chance to win double tickets, a VIP experience to Sati 2016, I beg your pardon. And our international star has been announced, so you know you want to be at the Ticket Pro Dome, right? Back to you though, Armand. Talk me through the project and exactly how it works. You know, from the moment you come up with the idea, I'm guessing you go into a phase of some blueprints and then how you put it all together.
Okay. So it all started like with you call it a breadboard. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's basically just a few strips of wire with the holes in. Mm-hmm. So you connect the wire to the component, etc., etc. So that was a starting point. Mm-hmm. So after all, and I needed to measure the current flowing through
all the appliances.
The appliance,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's say make it easy for a kettle. Okay. So first of all, when you plug in the kettle, it uses a lot of current, and so I thought, okay, let's measure the current. How else will I know if it's on? If it's using, okay?
If there's current flowing, then it's on. I get you. Okay.
Yes, easy stuff. And so I started measuring that with the current transformer. It's basically just a little bit of magnet you plug around the cable, and you can measure the
current that's flowing through.
The data gets saved into your computer, your home computer database, and after all that measuring and stuff, you can view that on a web browser. Okay, so that was the first stage, and obviously the switching came in as well. So there was two phases to it. You measure current, and then the switch status, on or off, gets sent to the database as well. So obviously, if there's current flowing, the switch status is on. Okay. Yes. Now, the tricky thing came in.
To get it off.
Exactly, and that's so I want to switch it off via my web browser, and then it goes to the module I built, and the intelligence on that thing says, okay, this system should go off, and then the circuit breaks, and then the kettle won't work anymore.
But now, Armand, surely, you know, at the end of the day, it ended up working. But there must have been mistakes along the way, and at times where you're like, I can't figure this out. Tell me about one of those moments.
I had this one component called the Intel Edison. Okay, that was the final phase of my project, and it was the day before I went overseas. We bought like 5 of them for in case, you know, and that was the smartest move I ever made.
Because one stopped working?
One stopped working, and I was like, okay, what's broken? Because
what happens now?
It came in 2 parts, like the socket kind of, and then the CPU processor thing that plugs into it, and both are different components. Both can break really easily. So I was like, okay, maybe the processors are broken. So I plugged it out and I put a new one in.
Still nothing.
Still nothing. And I was like, try to read voltage on it, and that processor was also blown. So 2 processors was blown, and I was like, okay, let's try it again. Maybe it's like at such, because it's really sensitive to static electricity.
And you're leaving the next day for America for this worldwide Young Science Expo, and your things are not working.
So stressful. And eventually, after the 3rd CPU processor I've blown, I found it was like the bottom board that was broken.
That was the problem.
Yeah, and, that was so stressful. And each component cost about 2,000 Rand.
Wow.
So 6,000 Rand gone right there.
Yeah. When you got to America, to Pittsburgh, and it was the young scientists, I mean, that's 1,700 of the youngest, brightest minds around the world. And here you are, one of the people who were chosen in a category that's very, very difficult, and you're in the top 3. The experience of being amongst other smart kids like you, and some who are even smarter than you, wasn't that intimidating for you?
So intimidating. I came out of South Africa being, I'm the smartest. Yeah, I'm the best in South Africa. Nobody can show me difference, you know. I'm the smartest man. Everything turned so quickly around when I arrived. All the projects in my eyes were better than me. It's like, how did they come up with that idea? It was like brilliant stuff. And I thought so tiny. This guy that won the category, actually, he made a new GPS system.
Wow.
Instead of the 3 satellites. He made just like a basketball, spun a bit of wire around, and made a prototype that picks up those signals, and then they could triangulate where the device is compared to that
and where it needs
basketball.
To go.
Yeah, it's like, that's a new GPS system.
Not these whole big satellites that are up there doing fancy things.
Yeah,
All you
it's
need is a basketball hoop and some wire.
Exactly, and I was like, why don't we use that? And I became so humble.
Yeah.
Other people's, you think you're the best, there's always somebody out there that does better. And that was such an important life lesson for me.
I was about to actually ask, what did you learn from that experience? Because you are surrounded, as you're saying, by people who are possibly better than you, although you're really good yourself. I hope you knew that about yourself, right?
I didn't do quite bad. It was like, I actually stressed maybe I won't get an award.
But you came third. So being around other people, what other things did you learn? Except the whole thing of, there's always someone out there that's better than you. Whether it was a technical thing that you learned or something that you were inspired by.
Yeah, definitely. From being the guy with the basketball, he actually was from, I think, China. I can't remember quite well. But it's like, maybe he isn't in the best circumstance, but he was like, I want to do something. Let's do it. Okay? And he did mathematics to a master's in South Africa level. Like,
wow.
that amount of intelligence he has to build up, and he's only like grade 11 or something in China somewhere.
Wow.
And that was mind-blowing to me. I didn't understand a single thing that was on his project board, display board. That was that was brilliant for me. And to actually come up with a prototype, the electronic skill that comes with that. Luckily, I've done that as well, so I understood that. But just being humble and saying you're not the best there is.
But also pushing yourself, because you're seeing what other great things people out there can do. So it's something that you can aspire to be at that level as well.
It's like, I'm not the best that I can be because there's other people there that did better than me.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like, all right, I know a few achievements I've done, but I can definitely improve.
I can always do more. I like that.
Yeah.
You were inspired, you weren't envious. Because it's a thin line. It's a thin line. Youth Leader of the Year nominee, a young inventor, Armand Dwevenage. If you'd like to vote for him, Youth 1 is his code. 43043 is where you need to SMS it to if you'd like him to walk away with the SATI 2016 Youth Leader of the Year award. But as I mentioned earlier, this is a young guy, 18 years old, a matric student, a regular person who's surrounded by teachers, parents, and fellow learners. We got some time to sit down with them and find out what they had to say about Armand.
He started quite early, almost a year before the competitions. He started, and maybe I should start a bit earlier. Even in the primary school, he always wanted to do Expo, but I told him, because I'm involved in the organizing of it, I'm not going to let him do a project, because then people will think it's my kid, that he gets the prizes, so he will never be able to participate. And he kept on asking me, and later on I said, okay, if you want to do it 1 year, it should be grade 10. He actually worked harder than I thought he would. Because he was committed almost every afternoon in the week, 3-4 hours he was working. And actually I thought, what's going to happen with his schoolwork? And I was actually amazed that he did it himself.
It meant I could actually stop panicking and get a bit of sleep, because I had spent, I think, the last few days panicking about whether this would actually get through the metal detector at the airport, whether it would get into America, whether it would get out of America, whether it would work on 120 volts when he got there, or whether the smoke would come out and the whole thing would be a waste of time. So it was a very stressful couple of days. But yeah, when we actually heard that he got a third prize, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it must be even more amazing for him. But yes, we all stayed up to see if we could get these results. Could follow it on Twitter and various other places where people were posting things, and yeah, just the fact that he actually got a prize. I mean, of the South Africans, I think 12 South Africans went, and I think only 3 or 4 actually got prizes. So it was really, it was amazing.
It was something that he started as maybe a small idea, and he just kept on going. He's one of those people that he won't stop until he makes a success of it, and he puts in everything.
Armand is very intelligent. This shines through, and it can be intimidating. But he's a brilliant guy once you get to know him. Just an all-round great guy, smart. And as a friend, he's always there for you. He works hard, but he plays hard as well. The band's real fun. So Armand, he's never told me this, but I know he thinks his girlfriend sings better than me. I know this, but he's not told me this, but I know this.
A young inventor who's also a musician, I see, Armand. So you've got hidden talents. You're a member of a band?
Yes, we sell bow ties is our band name. It's like,
we sell bow ties.
We sell bow ties.
But now, if I came across that name as a band name, I'd want to come and buy bow ties from you. So do you do that too and sell bow ties as the group band?
Maybe one day when we want to sell merchandise or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. Then the bow ties are going to be your merchandise.
Exactly.
Tell me about stumbling into music, and is that a form of escapism for you? So that when you're not in the books, this is what you like to do for fun?
Definitely. That was a big passion of mine. One of the talents God has given me. And it's like, I picked up the guitar and quite never really put it down, actually. Yeah.
Special hidden talents. I hear that Brady tells me in my ear, well, we actually saw it in the insert as well, that one of your friends says that your girlfriend's a better singer.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And that doesn't bother you?
Not at all. He's a brilliant singer. I don't take that away from him, but...
And any future plans with the music, or is it strictly the science?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm quite in a fumble over here. The music works. It's such a big passion of mine, and but the science is also there, and that's also brilliant. Definitely, I'm like 50-50 at the moment.
How would your parents actually feel about you going to, let's say, an art school and going to study something like the guitar, study music further, as opposed to, you said to me earlier off air that you're going to Tux next year and you're going to be studying electrical engineering. So what would your parents say if you turned around and said, guys, actually, I want to study music?
They'll be like, well, you can probably do what you want, but don't do it.
That's a trick. It's like, you can do what you want, but don't do it.
Exactly. But they said you can do whatever you want in your free time. And
in your free time. So they're making it known that music is a free time thing, but they're not imposing it upon you. Your parents are sneaky. I see that. Vote for Armand Bovanaga, a young man who's not only an inventor in terms of electrical means, but looks like he's got some electrical strings there going with his guitar. Youth 1 is his voting code. 43043 is where you can SMS it to. You can also email Youth 1 to sativoting@nn7.com.
Be the best part of you. Be the best version of yourself. Always just do better than you possibly can imagine. Strive doing better and better and better.
Welcome back. You're watching the South African of the Year Daily Show right here on NN7 as we count down to SATI 2016 happening on the 25th of November at the Ticket Pro Dome. If you'd like to stand a chance to win tickets, it's really simple. You just need to jump onto our website. Another website you can visit other than nn7.com is sati.co.za. Find out how you can stand a chance to win tickets to come to the awards because tickets are not on sale, baba. Melu enterisha, one melu vote, and then usoswona ulapo. In the studio today, just wrapping up an interview with Youth Leader of the Year nominee, 18-year-old inventor Armand Duvenage. Armand, it's matric, you know, you've just finished your prelims and it's almost finals time, you know. How are you preparing, especially if another young person is watching you and they are panicking because this is it?
Yeah, it's the final one. Last one. It's so exciting to finish off things. Work out exams, work out previous exam papers all the time, know what they're asking. Know what to write because the markers are looking for this one thing you have to write. So you have to become them in a way, have their mindsets when you answer it.
And what would you say has been your fondest memory as school-going childhood memory over the last 18 years? Because it's the end of an era, you know. 18 years in school is a long time, and here it comes to an end. What are you taking away from the experience?
Sitting on your butt and learning. Just having that ability is quite difficult. Just when further studies and to be able to do excellent, and the only thing that helps with that is to sit and learn.
Because excellence is a habit. Looking into 2017 in the future, once you're done and you've matriculated, because I have no doubt your name is going to be in the newspaper, it's not going to be a thing. You are looking at studying towards, is it a BSc in electrical engineering? That is what they call it, a BSc, right? Bachelor of Science.
B engineering.
B-Eng, yes, you're so right.
Yeah.
So you can tell I've been out of school for like 10 years. Oh, my God. What are your plans with this degree? Because you must have thought about it carefully as to why you want to do electrical engineering.
Yeah, one of the category prizes, one of the category prizes I've won was sponsored by Saab Grintech and or Saab Technologies. They have this different
Department.
Yeah, it's like, but they sponsored it, and I was like, well, thank you for. I emailed them and say thank you for this amazing award, and thanks for the money, you know, prize money
that I'm gonna go to school with.
Of course.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
So why electrical engineering? I mean, I understand that your project was around electricity, but what's your passion about it?
Ooh, there's nothing more satisfying than programming and it actually works. Pressing enter on your computer and then the light turns off right at the other side of the room wirelessly is like nothing more satisfying. But yeah, as I was saying, Saab Technologies make defense systems for big warfare and etc. Electronic warfare.
Oh wow!
So they make systems that detect when an RPG comes and then kicks in a lot of protocols that helps to prevent the asset being destroyed or whatever. So that was like
that's where you're headed.
That's my young boy who
dreams
like,
to stop electrical warfare and just see things exploding in cyberspace. Well, we wish you all the best with that, Armand. Now, you're on the South African of the Year Daily Show, and the show is all about celebrating South Africans. So we want to celebrate how much you know about South Africa with a little bit of a trivia. Ask you 5 questions, some general knowledge questions, and we see how you do. You ready?
Ooh. I don't really watch news that much.
We're gonna have to see how it goes. All right, question number 1. I think this one's an easy one. What is South Africa's biggest export?
Ooh.
It's a mineral.
It's between coal and gold.
You gotta pick one.
I'd say gold.
There you go. See, you're making this hard for yourself. 1 out of 1. Next question. Which is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature?
I don't know the English word, but quick.
Is that mercury?
Yeah.
It sounds right. I'm just going to say yes.
Yeah.
Next question. South Africa is located at the southern part of the African continent. How many countries does it border?
4.
4.
5.
5?
Lesotho. 6. 6 is one.
Yeah.
6.
5 or 6?
6.
I'm so glad your final answer is correct.
Yes.
All right, next question. Which two deserts are found in southern Africa?
Ooh.
Some geography, not so much science.
Yo, I did so bad in geography. I was learning
Take a guess.
Kalahari.
Yeah, that's reg.
And
It's by a country that's like on that side of the map, by the Northern Cape. Sounds like a country. Must I give it to you?
yeah,
I can give you half a point because you got half of it. It's the Namib Desert. So I was trying to say like Swiss Namibia,
I know
not
it-
this
I know it's there, but
Namibia.
I don't know what desert name.
Not bad.
Namib
It's-
Desert,
so
okay,
you
no,
got
no.
half a point there, so you have 3.5.
Okay.
This
out of
need
four.
the slachni. All right, question number 5. Who is the first South African artist to win a BET award? Now you have to be a cool kid. This is entertainment.
Yo.
He's a DJ. He wears glasses, and it's not tea, but it's
Black coffee.
well done. So 4.5. I feel like I should take away that half because I helped you with that clue. But this needs to slack me. 4.5 out of 5. That's all good, hey? All right, Armand, thank you so much for your time on the show today. But before we say goodbye to you, there's other young people who are doing extraordinary things in your category. You know, what are your words of advice to other young people as well who might not be aspiring scientists, but they're just young people who want to do great things?
Just keep striving towards excellence. Be the best part of you. Be the best version of yourself. Always just do better than you possibly can imagine. Strive doing better and better and better.
Now, I know your parents are probably going to be watching, you know, and you might not always get the opportunity to say to them, Mama, Papa, ek lief vir jou, baie dankie vir alles. So if there was something you had to say to your parents, what would that be? Because it's 18 years of a life that they've had to be supporting all this time.
Yeah, just thank you for all the supports, I guess. And, well, the support, I didn't really want to do it. There was times like I had to work like 2 in the morning from after school and didn't get any sleep at all. Just them sponsoring me and saying, or motivating me rather, and saying, you have to be great. It's you're representing yourself and your country.
Thank you so much, Armand. We wish you all the best. Congratulations again on your nomination, and we will see you on the 25th of November.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you very much.
Youth Leader of the Year nominee. Youth 1 is his code. It's been such a pleasure spending this afternoon with him and just getting to know a little bit more about the science side of life. You know, Runa is the TV presenter. Sometimes I really TV didn't say. But today I was out here with electrical currents and amps and I learned something new. So vote for this young man. Youth 1, SMS that to 43043 or email it to sativoting@nn7.com. Tomorrow evening or maybe next week, but when we do come back with the show, we'll be sitting down with yet another phenomenal South African who's doing extraordinary things and is of course a nominee in the South African of the Year Awards 2016. But for now though, that's all we've got.